Hi guys, welcome to this session on Microsoft PowerPoint. In this module, I want to have a look at advanced animations. So as you can see on the screen, there's 3 slides about the Battle of Waterloo, which I'm going to use to animate using advanced features. So first of all, on this slide, British Forces, if I just put this into full screen, there is no animation on this, just straight to the next slide. And I can keep going round and round until I press escape. Now the reason that happens is because on the slideshow, if you go into setup slideshow, I've got it on a loop. Just take that off and put it back onto manual. But whatever, everything came in at the same time and I don't want that to happen. So if I click onto this and go to the animations tab, and I'm not going to use the easy animations, all of these. I'm going to use the add animation feature and I'm going to activate the animation pane so I can see what's going on. Now when you click on add animation through this option, you can layer animations. Green for entrance, yellow or whatever color these are for emphasis, red for exit, and then you've got motion paths at the bottom. You've also got more of each of those through these items, which I'm going for now. So more entrance effects because I want to use dissolve in. Okay, so now 1 1 2 2 3 3, so there's only 3 things going on there. And if I play selection, Wellington and Guards, Picton and Infantry, and Uxbridge and Cavalry coming together, and I don't want that to happen. So on some of these animation effects, you've got effect options. So this is coming in by paragraph, all at once, or one object is the other options. But you get more options if you go into the animation pane, which is now active on this side, and drop the arrow down on the right hand side. You can go into effect options there, which gives you this box and a few more features. So first of all, I'm not in the school of thought that thinks you should put sound on text. Slightly irritating for the audience, but I do like this feature, don't dim. So when this loses focus, I want it to go light blue, so let's get it a light blue color, see what that looks like. Okay, animate level all at once. Yeah, timings I'll come back to. Text animation is the bit I want for this first session, so it's all coming in at once. Now we've only got 2 levels in our paragraph, so I could select second level and it would suffice for what I'm trying to show you, but I always tell people in my classes to select the 5th level just in case at a later date you indent again and you have 3 or 4 levels. Now when you click OK, you can see what happens there. It's coming in word at a time, and when it loses focus, it goes to the light blue color that I selected initially. So when I click my mouse, that should come. Loses focus, next one comes, loses focus, and so on. So you've got total control of what's happening on the slide. And when you get to the last one, nothing else came up, but cavalry lost focus. So that should tell you as a presenter, that is the last item on this slide. Now, if you haven't got the preview presenter screen available, and you're just using an older version of PowerPoint where this is all you've got, this is a tool that I think is a must for a presenter. So when I press enter now, that's a new slide. I'll just press escape to come back down, and I'll do the same thing for French forces just to repeat that. So add animation, more entrance effects, dissolve in, OK, drop down arrow, effect options, on don't dim. So now that color's there because I've used it already. Text animation, level 5. Now of course if you've got 50-60 slides and you're wanting to do this on every slide, you don't do it one at a time like I'm doing. You would go up to the view tab and slide master, and in the slide master on this type of slide, so not the top one, otherwise it'll be every slide, but on this slide you would apply that animation here, and then that will be on every bulleted list already for you. And I've got videos showing you how to do this and how to create second and third master lists, so you can pick and choose what type of animations you want on a particular slide. So that's how you would do it for multiple slides. So that's the straightforward animation. Now what we can also do, if I want this to get larger, go back to animations and add animation. I'll do grow and shrink. So let it grow and shrink. So what happens when I put that into full screen? Press enter, it grows. It didn't actually do anything. So there was not enough delay between the two. So if I click on that, what we're looking at now is on this option, if I open up these, this is sitting at the bottom, so that should have gone there. So let's have a move that up there, and I want to put a bit of a delay on it because I know guard is gonna, let's just do it again. So it zooms up. Okay, that's all right, it doesn't go down. I'm happy with that. That's what I want it to do. So now I've put that there. Now if I want that to disappear after it's appeared, I need to do another animation. This time it's going to be exit. The one I want is dissolve out. It's not there, so I need to go into this option, dissolve out. Okay, and again I need to push this into the right place, so it's going to come in, get bigger, go out. That's what I want it to do. So I press enter again, it gets big, disappears, and then the guards come in, and then the rest of it's still normal, so it's not disappearing. So this is how you layer effects, and this is how you manage a slide. Now obviously there's not a massive amount of space there to do lots and lots of stuff, so you may have to create duplicate slides to continue the effects if you've got loads of different effects. But let's have a look at creating a new slide. What I want to create now is a little graph. That'll do. I don't want any data in it, I just want to show you how you can animate a chart. So the same thing is going to apply here. Add animation, going to dissolve in, okay. And now when I drop the arrow down on this effect, still got effect options. I don't need to do don't dim, but you have, instead of text animation, you have chart animation, and then I'm going to select element in series, okay. So it comes in series by series like so, and then you can see that the font color probably needs to be changed on that to white so you can see it. So that's how you animate a graph. Now a smart art diagram, I'll pick the hierarchy one and I'll just leave it as default. So same thing, you go to animations, add animation, dissolve in, okay, go to the effect options and you get the smart art animation, and again pick the one you want, click OK, and watch it come in. So the process is the same. Once you've got this animation pane on the screen, it's quite straightforward to see what's going on a particular slide, and you can do them as a group, animate them as a group, or you can animate things individually by clicking on that element. I'm not going to do that. Next one. So now we've got motion paths to look at. So I want to insert a motion path, and I need to just change this slide to a blank one. And I'm going to insert a picture. I'll just insert any stock image. What I want is people. Not any of them, so let's go for icons. Okay, that'll do. I'll have him insert that one. You don't want design ideas, you just want to animate that in. So you go to animations, you add animation, you go to more entrance effects, dissolve in. Okay. Now I want that to go across the screen, so now add animation and scroll down to the last set that we haven't looked at yet, and custom path, and then you draw with this pencil point where you want this to go. And when you finish, so I'm going to get this to go off the screen down the bottom there, you just double click and then it will follow that path off the screen like so, and you can see it there. So if I just play that again, off it goes. So in full screen, that's not there, press enter, comes in, press enter, goes off. Now if you want that to do that automatically, what you've got at the moment on this effect graphic is on click. The first one is also on click. Well, I'll leave that one on click, but let's do this with previous. So now what's going to happen, let's have a quick look. So press enter and it just goes straight away. Now if I want that to have a delay on it, I can click into this and use the delay option. So let's put a delay, that'll do. And the duration, let's knock that up a bit. So let's see what happens now. So press enter to come in, delay, duration's a lot slower, like so. So you can see how you can play around with these tools at the top here. You've also got those tools in effect options, they're just repeated, and you've got all these extra features as well. Timing with previous, delay, and you can do repeat and things like that. Just cancel that one off, get myself another slide. So if I get myself a table, let's just get a random table on the screen, and let's say there's some figures in this table. What you might want to do is insert a shape. So let's go for a shape or an icon. Let's say we want this little arrow, down arrow, pointing at this table or spreadsheet. So what I want this to do is I want it to dissolve in. So let's do that bit first. So add animation, dissolve in. Okay. Then I want it to pulse. So I want to add animation and get it to pulse. Just that one, pulse. So if I go into the effect options on that one, on the pulse, you can have that pulsing more than once. So if I go timing, it's on click. I want that with previous, and I want it to repeat 10 times. So let's have a look at that one. So if I go into full screen, the table's already there. I press enter and it just starts pulsing straight away. Press escape. So now what I want this to do, I want this to move to the end. So let's say you're pointing out some figures here, and now you want to point out some figures there. What I'm going to do is add a motion path. Now the one I want is not in this list, so I need to go to more motion paths, and you've got all these different options here. The one I want is move right, that one. So I'll click OK to that. Now that needs to go further to the right, like so. Now let's have a look at what's happening there. Put it into full screen. Press enter, it flashes while you're talking 10 times, and then it moves to where you want it at the end, but it's not flashing at the end. So what I need to do now is add a second set of animations, pulse, to go at the end, and then do effect options, timing, repeat 10 times, and that wants to be with previous as well. Okay, so now if I put that into full screen, press enter, it flashes 10 times, and you can press enter anytime you want during that and it's still flashing. Now if you want that to go automatically, you've got this one is on click, so this needs to be after previous, like so, and you've got no delay. So let's see what happens there. So I run that one, I press that, enter, it pulses 10 times, then it goes by itself. I didn't press enter, and it pulses another 10 times. Gives you time to talk, and there's no delay between the end of that one and the start of this one, but you could do that, and obviously you can increase the duration of the effect as well if you want on that one. So that's using the timings, the with previous, after previous, and things like that on a slide. So all of these effects are available through this add animation option. So I need to put this slide back to a title and content slide. Get rid of that. So whatever you put in there, I'll just type some rubbish, tab, type some rubbish, tab. So this is now ready for me to do animation on. So I'll just add animation on this one, and then I'll use dissolving again, and you do the text options like we did before. Effect options, dim to that color when it's lost focused, and animate to level 5. Okay. Now I mentioned before about doing that in this slide master, and watch what happens when you do that. So if I go view, slide master, I'm on this bullet list, so I do exactly the same on this bullet list. Now animations, add animation, dissolve in, do all the same things. This is now going to apply to all the slides that have this type of slide layout. So we're going to get it to dim to light blue, go to level 5, like so. Okay. Then you go and close the slide master and create a new slide and do some text with some sub like so. Now if I put that into full screen, press enter, you can see that the effect is already on there. I didn't have to create it, and it's a new slide, and you get this option. Now you have to be careful with this, guys, because that is now applied to all of these slides, these bullet slides. So if I go back up to the top, you can see it's on there. So basically if I put this one into full screen, there's going to be a clash. So it's going to do all of this first, and it's going to do what I set up second. So there's a double whammy, if you like, on this slide. So you need to do either one or the other. What I tend to do is have a second set of slides. So this is one set of slides, but I would have a second set. If I go back into view and slide master, I would create another slide master. So insert slide master at the bottom. I'll just color this one red. Slide background, there it is. Format color. Let's have a red color. So this one, for example, I would have, that is a terrible color. I can't cope with that. I'll have to change that color down a bit. Not blue because we used that. That's better. I didn't want to apply to all. I should have done that on the top one, so I'll do that on the top one. Blue. That's it. So all of the blue ones, this is a blue set, and on this there is no animation. So you can do your own animation on this particular slide if you take it, and it will just be on that slide. So what I would do now is if I close that, or you could do it the other way around, you could just put animation on there, but I'll close that. So now on this slide, which has got all the animation on it, animation pane, it's got two sets of animation, which I don't want. I could right click on that, go to layout, and now I see both sets and I know that's got no animation on it, so I can pick that, and it's just got rid of the animation that I put in the design set in the slide master. So, and then I'd have to do that on this one, because that's going to be the same layout, and it gets rid of just that second set. So whichever way you go, be careful not to put all the animations on the top slide in slide master. If I go back into it, I'll show you what I mean. When you come into it, first off, you're on the slide type that you were on, but if you pick the top one and add animation to the top one, it will cascade through all of these, so all of them will have the animation on, and then that causes potential hassle later on. And you saw what I did with this one. For example, you wouldn't want animation on an index slide where you've got hyperlinks going to all the key areas of your PowerPoint presentation, because you'd want to see that, the whole list. I'll close that down. So animation is a great tool in PowerPoint, and you can fill your boots with it. And when you combine animation with transitions, you really start getting a slick presentation. But that's all I want to talk about in this little session. So hopefully that has been of use to you, and thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the next one.